Chams was founded in 1985, September. However, it's a long story because it was started divinely. I had this opportunity of serving under Dr. Adibaya Dadakide at the then Obafemi Awolowo University, Stroke University of Ife, where I had my internship at my part 4. And I was lucky that he gave me two SDK85. In those days, you assemble your computers. So I was able to assemble those two computers and use it to control traffic lights at the university. And that gave me a lot of skills in terms of PCs that I just imagined in those days.
And I was a young man in ABA then, unrelenting in his pursuit of knowledge. He would come wanting to ask, why is that so?
People used to import computers from overseas to Nigeria. Now, but when it gets to Nigeria, to even install it becomes an issue, not to talk of maintaining it. Because I had that skill at the university, I was able to repair those computers. A couple of my friends will bring their computers to me to repair until one major company, Nest and Young, it used to be called Ernst and Whining in those days, brought their PCs to my house.
It started from our little apartment then. That was my husband, myself, and our firstborn, who happens to be a director in the company today, Tomiwa Aladekomo.
Ernst and Whining will come, Otandasin will come, a couple of corporate companies will come into terms. I was just doing it for free. But Ernst and Whining now said, look, this is an official business. They cannot just be doing it for free. They'd like to pay me. I said, look, this is just a passion for me. But no young man will say no to money. So when they offer to pay me, I said, it's okay. So I had a business name registered called Computer Hardware and Maintenance Services. Soon enough, Ernst and Whining introduced me to Dunlop, to UAC, and the business started becoming pretty big. At a point in time, then I said, no, they cannot be paying to what they call an enterprise, which is like a one-man company. It was not limited. So they said they need a limited liability company. So we asked, okay, let's go and register it because the money was good. So we registered it at the corporate affairs. When we got to corporate affairs, we were advised that, look, computer hardware maintenance services sounds bountiful. Can you get something shorter? Even though they were ready to register it. So we just took the abbreviation, one letter from each of the statements, and it became Chams. So C for computer, H for hardware, A add, M for maintenance, S for SAM. And that's how Chams came up. It became Chams Nigeria Limited.
I called myself the unofficial first staff of Chams because when people used to come there, it was apartments where we were living, and they go, is this Chams? So yes, this is Chams. And they asked for whatever they wanted to. In those days, my husband had this bag he used to carry about. He had his screwdrivers and some other things in it. And he used to go about repairing computers because in those days, computers were very rare. Very few companies, big companies had computers. And we didn't have any local companies that could repair them. Even sales was usually, sourced from abroad. So for people to repair their computers in those days, they had to take it back. They had to take them abroad to wherever they bought them from, which took a number of weeks or months. And so that was the way he started maintaining those computers and repairing them before eventually he decided to register it as a limited liability company.
The 1990s and 2000s saw Chams growing fast. New challenges emerged as technology leaped forward. Chams adapted by investing in research and for joining partnerships with banks and government agencies. Each decision, each new product, marked a turning point.
The first major breakthrough, I would say, is instant wining, which later became instant young. And then immediately after that, we got Dunlop. A major breakthrough for us, I would call UAC. We were lucky that instant wining was consulting for UAC, so they took us to UAC. A question that we were being asked at UAC and Liver Brothers that we were working with in those days was that, look, these pieces are good, but everything is in silos, in discrete units. How can we make sure that they got connected so that information from PCA can be seen by PCB, or the information is centrally located? And we started researching. We started thinking of how we can connect one computer to the other. Fortunately, we came across a device called Covus, which was used in the mini computer world in those days. So we brought it down to Nigeria. It cost us a lot of money. In those days, they were 10,000 pounds, which was a lot of money, 10,000 pounds. But in reality, it was just like 20,000 naira in those days. We had it imported and people thought we were crazy. I was started doing experiments with it. Because that Covus was able to connect one PC to a mini computer system or a mainframe. We then thought if you was able to do that, we can also do it with multiple PCs. We started experimenting and we were able to do a star topological connection using that Covus. It took us quite a while, about 6 to 7 months, but we got it. And we were able to connect the first 6 computers onto one Covus system in a star topology network.
Chams started repairing PCs, personal computers for banks, for oil companies, and all those things. Then the need arose when all the smartphone computers needed to be linked, networking. And this was where my greatest respect showed up for ABA. He attempted what the international giants were afraid to attempt. When he kept telling me he was going to try and link computer to Ikeja, to Marina, I thought he was daydreaming. Until the day suddenly he got a line of sight connecting to PCs from Ikeja and Marina.
As soon enough, through commercial bank credit unions, we were able to connect the Ibadan also to the Lagos branches. So a bank then was now able to do e-banking. That means that you can stay in Lagos or you can have your account in Lagos, go to Ibadan and be able to do your transaction. But the major breakthrough we gave the country, a pioneering thing we did for the country, was electronic money transfer. So for Chams itself, we then decided to float a company called Electronic Funds Limited. That company got 4 cities connected: Uyo, Ibadan, Kano, Lagos. We had it connected in a network. And we were able to transfer money from Uyo to Ibadan, transfer money from Kano to Lagos. So from Lagos, you can also go to Uyo and you get your money. And that was the first transfer. And that company was the first to get the Western Union franchise for Nigeria to transfer money from US to Nigeria.
Our visionary ABA, young man then, had blood running in his vein, was not satisfied with that feat. that said was going to link communities in Lagos to Ibadan, to Akure, to Port Harcourt. And the chairman kept on making huge success of these endeavors. I'm yet to see a more courageous and visionary person, entrepreneur, than ABA. I've had cause to tell him there were a number of occasions his vision even frightened me. His teacher.
Another major breakthrough which I like to mention is our first 1 million naira networking project. 1 million naira in those days is like $1 million. And we got that at Mobile, a massive breakthrough. Mobile as of then was being handled by foreign companies, the big IBM, data sciences, were the ones, H3 and the mobile. So there was a bid and they wanted to bring their mainframes and the mini computers down to PC level. Fortunately, we had the core competence and we had the comparative advantage over these huge multinational companies. So when they had that tender, easily we won. And it was a surprise to the entire industry. A $1 million literally kind of contract. And that was our first $1 million job, which fortunately we were able to perform successfully. And that led us towards supplying the first 1,000 computer systems at a point at once to share Nigeria in those days for their Lagos, Warri, Port Harcourt operation.
So we just tagged along and encouraged them in whatever way we could. I try my very best to ensure that I'm not an obstacle to whatever it is he's doing. So when it comes, it talks to me about it, tells me this is what will happen, this, that. Okay, it will be well. I just hold him in prayer and support him. I wasn't the prying wife who wanted to know everything that was happening. Neither was I the type that begrudged him the time. And one major ingredient, one major thing about marriage is trust has to be there. So I trusted him. In terms of our relationship, I wasn't suspicious of the time he's not at home. I trusted him in terms of his ability concerning the business he was doing. And I also encouraged him in whatever way I could.
We've had a lot of struggles. The first one had to do with Rapid Funds Nigeria Limited. And that's the funds transfer company, the first transfer company in the country. Like I said, we pioneered that. Pioneering also gave us a lot of issues. The company was turned to a finance house by the directors, which we did not like. In 1993, a lot of finance houses collapsed, and Rapid Funds was one of the ones that collapsed with it. Unfortunately, Chams had about 28% of that company. Were the largest shareholder in that firm. And it became an issue for Chams. And that was a major struggle for us at the point in time that a 26 million naira debt that Rapid Funds owed was now made to become that of Chams. But we were able to handle it, and we paid every single kobo of it. Very unfortunate. Year 2012. We thought we learned our lessons in 2001 with government. We said, okay, now we are not doing contracts. But the same president of Asojo in 2007 made us to get into it. We told him we want to do PPP. He agreed that we do PPP. He agreed to us to have a law, the NIMSI law passed, which we worked with him and the National Assembly. We had the law passed in 6 months. Unfortunately, Even with the commission that we had to be formed, when the new government came, they still had the contract cancelled again for the second time in 2012. And that's after we've implemented practically everything, issued about 1.2 to 1.5 million mean numbers to Nigerians. The contract was cancelled, and that gave us a massive struggle because we lost about $120 billion in 2012 on that job. Massive struggle. We thank God that we survived it. It's a kind of figure that is sink any economy, even up to today. But miraculously, we were able to survive that $120 million loss.
It's really wonderful that Chams has survived this past 40 years. There's been ups and downs. There's been, well, I believe we mentioned the national ID card. The 2 times he's been involved in it. There have also been businesses, maybe procurements that went wrong and all of that. And then the stock exchange crash. But God has been faithful in the past 40 years. And I just really want to thank God for what he has done and to congratulate Chams. It's not many companies that have weathered even 10 years. So to have weathered 40 years is all glory to God for this.
We've had a lot of achievements, quite a lot, and we give God the glory. It's very much unusual, the kind of projects we've had to do and the opportunities that the nation has given us. We thank God and we thank Nigeria for giving us those kind of opportunities. There's no other place in the world that a single company will pioneer PC maintenance. In the country, we pioneer networking, local area networking, metropolitan area networking, and national networking all over the whole place, wide area networking that covers the entire nation. It was a major opportunity. From there, we went to innovating and pioneering plastic ID cards in the nation. We started doing the plastic ID cards, and that led us towards the national ID. We're also lucky to have pioneered e-payment in the country. We formed a value card, which today is UPSL, the forbearer of interswitch, are still doing very, very well. Came out of Chams.
In the area of impact, I think Chams has done well, very well indeed. Both the individual, the governments, the corporate world, they've all experienced Chams one way or the other. In this country, if you have NIN, Chams started it, means you have experienced Chams. If you have SIM card, Chams did SIM card registration, you've experienced Chams. If you have voted electronically, you have experienced Chams. If you have if you have bank account as of today, you've experienced Chams because Chams deployed BVN nationwide.
Have been able to be the innovators as far as BVN is concerned. And that to me was something that brought a very, very important step of identifying Nigerians and a very key resource in the finance sector.
Through all the growth, one thing remained constant: Cham's mission to serve. Today, Cham's solution helps banks verify millions of identities and streamline transactions across Nigeria and beyond. Every new product came with lessons learned, failure fixed, new ideas tested. That spirit of innovation, fixing issues as they arise and always reaching higher, has fueled Cham's evolution.
We've transitioned a couple of times, which is also very good for any company. You need to keep reinventing yourself. The first transition was from being a one-man company to a limited liability company. So we became fully a limited liability company in September 1985. However, by 2006, we've expanded so much that we believed we had to go to the stock exchange. And the reason was not far-fetched. The company was becoming too big for even the few shareholders we had. We also thought that for corporate governance, for sustainability, we had to go to the exchange.
Transition to holding co. The transition is as a result of CBN policy. We have a mobile money license as well as switching license. And the policy says that for you to have the two licenses, you need to obtain payment service holding company. And that means we have to obtain the third license that will make us a non-operating company. So the condition from CBN is that the parent company has to be a non-operating company for you to keep both switching license and mobile money license. Hence, we had no option then than we went for the license and we were given. And what next? That means the operation in Chams PSC were apparently transferred to the subsidiary, and Chams PSC became an holding company, a non-operating holding company. So we are this status for like 2.5 years, and apparently July this year we got the approval of the shareholders for another restructuring to become Chams Corporation PSC.
Charm's impact extends beyond products. Its solutions has shaped the financial industry's efficiency and made services more accessible to everyday people. From securing transactions in banks to making ID verification seamless, Cham's work is invisible but vital.
When a company is 40 years old and they're trying to dimension the next wave of Chams, I'm sure there's a lot of historical context around the company that has done identity and exposed the nation to BVN, NIM, and all sorts of SINREG, and also has its own, pros and cons in the country in uplifting the subject of identity. What is required now is how do we take Chams to the next level? So, crossing the chasm with Chams.
We've been at the forefront of payment cards right from the days of Mark Stripe. I'm sure some of us can still remember the early days of payment cards then. Card Center was at the forefront. We've played a key role in the BVN. Some of us actually got BVN cards that were produced here. We're also involved with INEC cards. So we've been the force behind the payment and ID card. And very recently, we've added the SIM card business into what we offer the Nigerian to put Nigeria and Africa indeed on the world map when it comes to payments and also telecommunication via SIM.
I could boldly say that we are the first company that use a biometrics identity management system to establish and resolve problems around payroll, the state wage bill for a particular state in the country. We'll run the payroll and we'll ensure sanity, remove ghosting, eradicate various fraudulent activities that currently is the issue, attendant issues with various civil service and federal government services. So that's saying that we also have projects, we've done projects around senior citizen. We have a product like I'm Alive that we use for the periodic verification of senior citizen. Our flagship product in Chams Mobile is a mobile money product that is called Kego. The Kego name is derived from the three languages for the word money in Nigeria, from the Hausa, the Igbo, and the Yoruba speaking people of Nigeria. So the K is for the word Kudi, the EG is for ego, and the OW is for Owo. So if you put the three together, you can have the word Kego, and that's how we form our own name. Also, we have another product that is for electronic voting platform. It is called Voter, and we have been able to handle several elections for professional bodies, for associations in Nigeria. So we've handled elections for ICANN, for NSC, for various cooperatives, for various estates, association.
At Chams, we have introduced some products into the market, unique offerings into the Nigerian fintech space. One of them is naira.com that allow shoppers to access products and services via the web. We also have that particular product also developed for mobile app application, and is one of the products that a lot of people have been enjoying over the years. We also have a payment gateway that we call PelPay. PelPay allows merchants to collect payments from their customers. It's secure, it's efficient, and it is fast. Settlements are done as at when due. Then, of course, we also switch, especially for some governments. We've switched, made payments available to governments of Osun State, for example, for many years, where we are able to, help manage the government payroll via collaboration with our sister company, Chams Mobile. And of course, we introduced Union Pay into Nigeria. We are the only certified third-party service provider for Union Pay in Nigeria. So those are some of the innovative products and services that we have introduced into the Nigerian market.
Chams Access was incorporated in year 2007 and was operational from 2009. And we started from selling ATMs and kiosks, and also do maintenance to the financial institution. And in 2014, we implemented the BVN for Chams with partnership with partnering with Damalog, and this was a real success for the whole country. We have partnered with different OEMs like Damalog, DataCard, G+Z, and Zebra Technologies, and others. Recently, we went further to go into Africa, and we have a Chams Access consortium at Sierra Leone to help with the identity management in the PENCOM sector of Sierra Leone.
After 40 years, it's the people of Chams who tell the real story. The company's culture, shaped by perseverance and teamwork, is woven into every outcome. It's a legacy carried forward by those who walked here.
I joined in quite early. I think I joined 2008, fresh from the school. We were picked from our school. I don't even know who Chams was, what the company was all about. And then they came to pick us, and that speaks volume about the organization. They are willing to invest to nurture youth, younger people, so that they can build the company, one, build the leadership too, and then build the nation as a whole. And it's been an insightful journey. I've grown, I've met beautiful people, great leaders that have brought out the best out of me. Things that I don't even know I can do or become, they've been able to drive that willingly and on a very positive journey.
Yeah, I really enjoy working with Chams because it was just a place of learning, because I learned a lot and let me be a confidence of myself. You know, that's what I really enjoy from Chams. You know, our father Sadu Komo, and he's our mentor and he's a visionary daddy. Facts. He helped me so a lot that I can't forget in my life, no matter no how. Because for me, in my life, it's from Chams that he gave me Pikatuka as one of the longest staff and gave some the land at Lekki. You know, for me, I really appreciate our daddy, Sadimola Adekomo. May God bless him and his family and all the board members of Chams.
When I got married, 1996 in Abeokuta, my boss, I mean, I was like, my friend were dancing, you know. I just looked back and I saw Saladi come up behind. It was like, how do I do this now? So, I mean, the thing reverberated. And
My experience in Chams has been very, very exciting, very fulfilling, very enriching, extremely enriching as a matter of fact. Because you get enriched in terms of knowledge, in terms of experience, in terms of wherewithal.
I joined Chams Limited in the year 2016. Joined as a junior accountant, and all through the years, it's been awesome. Attended the Chams Academy, grew up, and currently I'm part of the management team of Chams Limited. To be precise, Chams is a place to grow. You're giving tasks, you're giving challenging tasks that makes you think, makes you develop yourself, so there's room for you to develop as much as you want to.
The future is very, very bright for Chams as we go back to the market as a consumer-facing company, as a company that is going to be focused on Africa, Nigeria, of course, but now we're going to spread our footprint to Africa. We're going to be facing the consumer. It's going to be digital and it's going to be Africa. In order to do that, we need to rebrand. We need to become a corporation. We need to be very aggressive. We need to continue the impact, not on Nigeria alone now, but also in Africa.
In terms of the revenue expectation and the pipeline, we have solutions around smart identity, smart campus, incubation, innovation lab, fintech, derivative, digital platform, switches, and things like that will help us get to the other line. But currently, when we see the dimension of our revenue, we want to grow aggressively in leaps and bounds, times 20. So we're currently closing this year with almost 20 billion naira. We see that journey of taking us into Africa to 100 billion naira or 120 billion naira, so that our share price can actually go to 10 naira from where it is today.
We need to become very, very innovative. And there are quite a lot of areas that we need to look at. A major part will be artificial intelligence, which is not a matter of choice. Even coming to it now is almost too late. But AI will be the next frontier for Chams. But not just AI as a hype. Chams has been used to doing the heavy lifting. And we're going to be doing a lot of heavy lifting in the next couple of years. For the industry, we never shy of doing heavy lifting or pioneering, of innovating. So the foundational infrastructure that Nigeria and Africa will need to tackle the next couple of decades. We believe Chams must be in the forefront of implementing it. So you're going to be talking of data centers. How do you build enough data centers to take care of the needs of the country, of government, of the younger generation that are coming? We're going to be talking of renewable energy. How do you build infrastructures, the railroads that allow energy to be readily available? Intelligence. Yes, in our first 40 years, we pioneered the foundational things, infrastructure for identity management, for e-payments. But as we go along the line, it's not those foundational issues. How do we now build intelligence into all this data that has been carried? How do we extract, using AI, to extract the necessary governance methodologies, assets for governments and also for corporates? That will be a major heavy lifting. There are new technologies. We have emergencies in this country. Our firefighting services are not up to par. Even the military, in terms of emergency, they're still struggling. But there are drone technologies that Chams should get involved with in the next 40 years. So that when we have emergency, say on a 25-story building, we're going to have technologies to be able to rescue people from that building. In the remote part of the country, when we have calamities, maybe natural disasters or human disasters, or war zones, there are now technologies available that Chams will be getting involved with to be able to intercede and protect Nigerians and take care of our welfare. So these are just snippets of the technologies, of the heavy lifting that Chams will be looking at. And all this we should be unveiling in the next couple of weeks or months to the nation and to Africa when we unveil the new Chams to the world. Wow, 40 years. It's been a journey.
Wow, Chams is 40 already. Sounds like yesterday.
40 looks good on Chams. It has been a wonderful time.
We say here that 40 years is like the start of a new life, and I believe that this indeed is it's a good time to turn 40 because of some of the things that we know in-house that the company is about doing, about rolling out.
For Chams, my wish is that Chams will live beyond this generation. Already he has impacted Nigeria greatly, and my sincere wish is that Chams will impact African and beyond.
Our thanks to the various stakeholders in the company. So I really want to congratulate all of them.
My joy knows no bound, and I congratulate you sincerely from the bottom of my heart.
This is wishing Chams Corporation happy 40th anniversary. We've gone a long way, and I believe there's greater works we are going to do together.
I say this with great confidence that I congratulate you going forward, coming from behind and going forward. It's a great step as an organization that can compare to any organization in Africa and globally.
I wish Chams another 40 years. 40 years old is not a baby. 40 years congratulatory messages. All the best with Chams. And we'll look at another 40 years and 40 years in multiples and quadruples.
I wish Chams the very best. Another 40, another 50, another 60 years.
Not many companies live to be 40 years. I'd like to congratulate the current management led by Mrs. Mayowa Olaniyo and the ESCO. I also like to congratulate the current board, the group board, led by somebody called Demola Ladikomo. Right. Congratulations to all of you. But congratulating you will not be enough, because the most important people that have kept us, they are the staff of Chams since 1985. They've been amazing, great, fantastic human beings. The best set of people anybody could have worked with. We thank you all the members of Chams, all the alumni of Chams that have been with us since 1985. For those that have left, those that are still there, thank you so much. We also would like to thank our foundation chairman, Professor Adebayo Datakinde, who has been with us since the founder was an undergraduate. And up to date, you're still with us. We thank you, our dear father, the Most Reverend Professor Adebayo Datakinde, our very first board chairman. You stood by us through thick and thin, like the Rock of Gibraltar. We also would like to thank our other directors and the former chairman of the group. I'd like to thank the family of the late Chief G. Odegbami, our second chairman. May he rest in perfect peace. He did very, very well for us. We'd like to thank our very Reverend Dr. Ayo Richards, who came after the second coming of Most Reverend Professor Adebayo Datakinde. So very Reverend Dr. Ayo Richards, we thank you. We'd like to thank Pastor, Mrs. Dr. Dere Awoshika, our immediate past chairman of the group board, for the great works that he did. Our dear sister, thank you so much. Our first female group chair. We also would like to thank ABA, the current chairman. We thank all the subsidiary board chairmen for what you've done. Now, without you, our customers, we will not be where we are. We'd like to thank the federal government of Nigeria and Central Bank, NIMSI, INEC, NCC. You gave us massive opportunities, and we keep asking ourselves, if Chams had been in any other country, could we have done 5 of less than 8 national projects that you have in all nations? So it's been a major opportunity that the federal government gave us. The federal government, you always wahala for us. You give us trouble as much as you give us opportunities. CBN, thank you for BVN, NCC, thank you for SIMREG, INEC, thank you for voters registration. We thank our customers, we thank the oil companies, we thank the banks, those marvelous opportunities to innovate, to pioneer the consulting companies in Nigeria. We thank you all. The consumers, we thank you. And the back-end users of all the technologies that we pioneered and innovated, which means 200 million Nigerians, we thank you all. Because every single day, more than half of Nigerians, we use one solution or the other that came out of Chams. Thank you, Nigeria. God bless Nigeria. It's a great country, and it's going to be a great country.
I pray that it will become a global giant in ICT platform in Jesus' name. The best is yet to come in Jesus' name.
Chams' journey began in 1985, proving over 40 years what is possible. But the next 40 years will reach beyond imagination. With a strong foundation and a boundless horizon, Chams will keep breaking new grounds, turning challenges into opportunities and visions into reality. This is not just the future unfolding, it's the future we dare to create together.